Hi there. I'm the Star Princess of Love 1111, and this is my first YouTube video ever in my life. I just thought I would start recording where I'm at in my journey, and I'm talking about the twin flame journey. So yes, I've been on this journey for a number of years, and a number of months ago did go through my own spiritual transformation, and I thought I could share with others what comes up in terms of the cards, what comes up in the cards, and if it is of interest to you, it means something to you, you can watch. I don't really expect anyone to be watching these videos, but as they say, if it resonates, hey, enjoy, take any learnings, and you can apply as you like in your own personal circumstances. But what I'm doing today is a general reading for the Divine Masculine, where he's at the moment, towards his Divine Feminine. And I have drawn cards for his emotional space, his mental space, and his spiritual space. And then I've got a couple of cards, more his message to his Divine Feminine. Okay, well, I'll start with the first card that I drew, which was in here, how is the Divine Masculine feeling towards his Divine Feminine? So how is he feeling towards it? What's happening in his emotional space? And it was the 10 of Pentacles. So, it's everything in terms of his emotions towards his Divine Feminine. Everything. It's the treasure chest of all he's ever dreamed, hoped for, longed for, and then some, like a bottomless well of all the emotions. I think this is from my feeling. I'm feeling that this is also what he wants the connection to be, and I'm particularly channeling the twins in separation. That's my current state, so I feel more drawn to those situations. And he feels it very much in the 3D, day to day. That warmth from his Divine Feminine. It all. And he wants it in the physical. He wants it all with her. And I pulled a clarifier, and it was the Star. So he wants the whole shebang. He wants the whole family, everything. He's feeling that everything. She gives him everything that he's ever hoped and dreamed. And you can't help but be optimistic when he feels her energy. And he's really thinking about how to turn those feelings into something more tangible, because it is frustrating him like crazy. He's been on a bit of a journey himself, and he's realised he's at the point, and this is the point in the journey on the twins I'm picking up, that he has had some sort of an awakening that the Divine Feminine is his counterpart, his other, his match in terms of the physical and metaphysical realms. So he feels this is the right path with her, even though nothing is really happening. Yeah. He's passionate about making long-term plans with her. And he's trying to hang on to the optimism in spite of all the lack of physical evidence. So hope, a lot of hope. Okay, so in his mental space, how is he thinking about his divine feminine? Yeah, there's a battle going on, a mental battle, perhaps a little bit of a battle of wills. I'm picking up some stubbornness that originally was more in the divine feminine space, and now the masculine is mirroring this stubbornness, even though he's never really identified with that sort of personality trait. He's a little bit caught up in that battle of wills, but he also is cognizant there's winners and losers, and he's really feeling like the loser at the moment. He feels like the divine feminine has the upper hand now. The tables have turned. And the clarifying card was the High Priestess, another second major arcana. So big energies overall in terms of our divine masculine currently. So he's actually starting to consciously pay attention to his intuition, that gut feel, that other knowing that's not necessarily in his head, and he's using that to inform his headspace a bit. He's trying to maintain patience. He's been patient for a fair amount of time through different cycles. Not as patient as his divine feminine, but he's now going through that period of patience like she did, and he's thinking a lot about his divine feminine and them as a couple, and how that intuitively makes him feel when he imagines that on a day-to-day basis. I'm picking up. Yeah, he's mentally lifting to another space. He's in the process. It's not... He's got a ways to go, but he is... I feel the ones I'm picking up, I feel like they are, the divine masculines are on this awakening journey. And I don't know if he realises it's back to himself yet. He's still very focused on the divine feminine. But let's see what his spiritual space says. Okay. There's a poverty, a real lack in his spiritual space, and he's feeling it. He's recognizing it. It's really what is surrounding him is not filling him spiritually. It keeps saying, I want more, I don't know what I want more, I want my divine feminine, I want her, I don't know. There's spirit is very much in that lack space, and hasn't quite got that feeling of going to abundance and finding that in himself. It's still quite externalized. So while it's lovely he is focused on his divine feminine, he still hasn't progressed enough to the point where he realizes his journey is to himself. And yeah, he's, even though this is the spiritual space, but he is having a dark night of the soul many nights. I've drawn these sorts of cards a few times, and over the last month, it's a difficult time for him. Not sleeping well, probably waking up at that 3 o'clock in the morning time, looking at the moon, wishing, seeking wisdom, trying to find answers. But again, it's too much outside of himself. It needs to be a bit more within. But in a way, this is encouraging. It's a 9, so that is like, it is an aloneness, and he's feeling extraordinarily alone in a very difficult space, in a nightmare, which he's actually believes is of his own making. And to some extent it is, but still externalizing his healing perhaps too much, looking for the answers externally, but starting to go within. This is starting to, because there's the High Priestess he was thinking of, and the healing card as well. So yeah, it's starting to happen, which is good, but his soul is still in a lot of distress and defeated as well. It's a real feeling of defeat in his soul. So I asked for clarification, and I got, well, yeah, the end. This is why it's so much of a nightmare. I guess you could call it a bit of a death of the ego, releasing the ego. And he is transforming spiritually. This is a really big transformational time for him. And as we know, divine feminines, most of us have been through this before, our divine masculines, and we remember all too well those dark nights of the soul, how hard it was to find a reason to keep putting one foot in front of the other. So, but as we know, the point of all of that was to drive us to look inwards, to find the answers. It's time to move on for him. His soul is telling him to move on, especially from his karmic situations. So I'm very much picking up a third party, a complicated third party. Yep. With dependence as well. And he's very worried about their suffering. He's hoping to try and prevent their suffering, but in his soul he knows he can't. But they are on the sidelines there. His soul knows he has to go on this journey alone. It's his awakening, and his karmic situation, almost like his family, can't go along with him. Yeah. There is a light. I'm really drawn to this light coming out of like a halo above the head, which makes me think of the crown chakra. So it's very much divinely guided. He's starting in the earlier stages of his awakening, and his soul knows that things will not be the same again. He is transforming, but there will be parts of his life that won't fit his new self, and those relationships are going to have to change dramatically. So he also believes that there's all these flowers as well. I'm looking at these flowers strewn around him. White flowers, so there's a purity that he knows he's going towards. His soul does know he's moving away from a dark space to a lighter space. And it's guiding him to recognize the light's in him. He is the light. He's got it. Yeah. And this makes sense when another card fell out as well. The Ace of Fire, which is very different to all the other cards that have been drawn. Yeah, because we've had some heavy energy. Look, we've got some major arcana going here. So it's like, oh, a reprieve, but it's exciting. This is inception of passion. And I do feel that this is divinely inspired. It's coming with this release. It goes with it. Change your life now. He's changing his life now. May also mean for divine masculines elements of their careers as well, changing the way they may not change jobs, but they might change their approach to their jobs in a significant way, who they work with, because that's also part of what he might have to leave behind. But I really feel he's been so down for a while and defeated and just hasn't got his mojo. Like, nothing's working. There is no manifestation of his dreams and desires. And this is a bit of hope. It's coming. When he's released, when he's really surrendered, his soul is guiding him to release and surrender, then it all begins again in a very different way, but fulfilling these dreams of his lifetime, what he always sensed on some level existed before he got caught up in the day-to-day and the expectations of others, and so also at the bottom of the decks we've got the Hermit and the Five of Earth. Okay, so it makes sense, the going within, the looking back at the past, tapping into his mystical qualities, the depths of the universe. This is an overarching energy that he's being pushed towards. Go within, go within. It's all inside. Everything's there, everything you need. And let go of the fear of the physical, the earthly traps. the need to live up to this provider image. It's time to focus on yourself, look within. What do you want? Stop putting other people first, because you're not truly in your masculine at the moment. It's not been his best self. So, but yeah, that's what Spirit is guiding him to do. Keep going within. Yep. And of course, another major arcana. Big times. Yep. Okay, so his message towards his counterpart is Divine Feminine. So I seem to pull out one card, and then I sort of felt it and realised, oh, there's another one behind. So, 2 for 1. So this one, rest and relaxation is essential. He's telling his Divine Feminine to just relax, rejuvenate, have a little bit of a rest. It's such a peaceful card. She looks so relaxed, and he's also saying keep dreaming. Look. I feel like there's her king, there's her emperor, and she's just relax. He's always in your dreams. Be patient. Just put yourself first. And I think the Divine Feminine has been doing this more recently. I felt this shift, big collective shift in energy for the Divine Feminines, and they have been less obsessive about what's going on with the Divine Masculine. They've also recognised they can let go, they don't have to hang on, just surrender to the connection. It'll sort itself out. And you can't walk the road for your Divine Masculine. The only way you can help him is by focusing on yourself. And here he is, he's telling your Divine Masculine's telling that to his Divine Feminine. Keep doing that. Just rest. He needs to go on his journey and sort it all out, and then he'll come back in his true power, what a Divine Masculine actually is. So continue to dream about him. That's all right. And enjoy those dreams. They might be... I'm seeing all these dolphins there, and dolphins are very frisky mammals, I understand. So, if that means very enjoyable dreams with your Divine Masculine, I think he's saying, yep, please continue with that. Also drawn to this shell with, looks like the Divine Feminine driving her own chariot. Yeah, she's in her power. Keep dreaming of your own power. Keep moving forward. You keep moving forward, he will follow. Yeah, because the Divine Feminine really leads this connection. She usually goes through this all first, and then balance that with, so that's a very lovely dreamy card. And then this is back into Technicolor, stronger, darker colours. But also, don't hide your love for everything. I see this as be willing to express your love, but to everything, to all of creation. Don't limit yourself to saving up your love for your Divine Masculine. The world is your oyster. It's all in your hands. I see this here. And look, she's covered in abundance. She's got it all. Just in her hands, surrounding her on her head. Yeah, all through it all. And like this looks like some storm clouds in the background, but there's also light and hope, but there's stormy seas as well. But no, she's tranquil. just giving love, looking after her space, her inner child. I see this as divine masculine telling his divine feminine, look, I've got you. I will protect you. Of all this stuff I've got, you're what I treasure most. And he's got, there's a lot, but this is what he's focused on. And so, yeah. So don't hold back in expressing your love, divine feminine. Give a lot of love. It'll come back. What you give out will come back. As within, so without. As above, so below. All of that. Be love. Be in that state of love. It's something I've come to learn on my journey, that love isn't a feeling, it's a state of being. And if you've come a bit of a way along your journey too, you know what I mean when I say that. But yeah, it all comes back to love. Now look at the okay, 6 and 4 and 2, 6. So basically the divine masculine is telling his divine feminine how much he loves her. He's really taking it for the team now at the moment. He's doing all the hard yards, the hard work now. And that's why he's telling her, no, you've earned your rest. Take a rest. Let me carry this burden. Now it's my turn to go through. Yep. Lots and lots of love. Just got a huge wave of love from your divine masculines. It's not going anywhere. Just, yep. Are any of those still doubting and wondering if it ever will happen? Yep, it's a message. Don't give up. All right, well, I hope you got something out of this reading. I'll put up my second YouTube video when I feel called to do another reading. I feel that there's a message to a group of twin flames out there. All right, thanks. Have a nice